Who do you want to start with?
I feel like we should start with Seth.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's not, I don't want to say he doesn't have the most at stake in this conversation, but he definitely feels like, which is wild because he's the world champ.
Yep.
He definitely feels like he's in the backseat of all of this.
He's a huge factor, whether he's injured or not.
Right.
He is a big factor in this story. His promo on Raw last week was 100% true.
Yeah.
It being the workhorse title, I can't say for certain, and nobody can, if that's the title Dusty would have wanted.
Right.
But everything else that he said, like if you can't look at what Rollins has done over the last year last 9 months with that world title and believe it to be credible at this point, what more do you want? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't say that to say, well, it's a fine alternative for Cody.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But is that the story? Could that be the finish of the story and it be okay?
Well, I think Cody answered that Friday because he straight up said, I don't want the world title. I want that title that you're holding.
He seemingly,
So he basically said that. And I completely agree with everything you said about Seth and this world title. My biggest concern when the world title was brought in was that it's going to feel like the secondary. Nobody can beat Roman, so here's this world title for you guys to play with title. And I said from the beginning that Cody does not need to go after that title at all because if he ever wins it without winning the other one, it validates that this is just nobody can beat Roman, so here you go, Cody, second man up. That's that kind of thing. And I feel like the promo Seth cut past Monday, with Cody, he brought up a lot of great points. He made that championship feel like a big deal, all of that. And then Roman comes out Friday, and I feel like in his promo, he completely, in one promo, completely squashed everything Seth said.
I won't say that he squashed it. I definitely think he stomped on everything, pun intended, stomped on everything that Seth said.
Yeah.
But I also think that Roman's been doing that for 3 years now, 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I get that it's not a good look for somebody to tear down a world title, but Roman's also a heel, and he's been doing stuff like that for 3 years. So I look at that, and I don't take stock in this narrative of everybody saying that Roman just buried Seth in that title, because I think Seth can turn around, tear the house down, continue defending that title. And it's Seth is the one we talk about. Does the belt make the man or the man make the belt? Seth Rollins makes this belt. And no matter what Roman Reigns says, everybody loves Seth Rollins. So in turn, everybody loves the World Heavyweight title. Here's a point that Bully Ray made on Busted Open. I certainly want to get your take because Cody said he doesn't want the World Heavyweight title. You just said that he shouldn't have the World Heavyweight title without winning the other one first. Bully's point was Cody and Seth do go to WrestleMania. Cody beats him for a fourth time. Number one, I don't know what that says about Seth. We can go down that rabbit hole if you want. But Cody beats him for a fourth time. Cody wins the title. That's night one. Night two, Roman beats Rock. And then Cody's music hits. And they go face-to-face holding the titles. Not saying that we're confirming a champion versus champion match, but it's Cody saying, yes, I won this title. Still coming for you, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Again, though, my whole thing, and it goes back to the words from the man himself, Cody. Finishing the story is not about winning a championship.
Sure.
It's winning the championship his dad never won.
Sure.
And that's the championship Roman is holding. And so, in my mind, I think of it as, if that's the only one I want to go after, why do I care about this one right now?
Sure.
I can win this one after I win that one.
Sure.
And so, I think it's like a path that we could go down. I am definitely totally 1,000% against unifying the titles because that did not work after WrestleMania 38. But I do think there is a path that we can go down telling that story.
Sure. Of
Cody winning that championship, taking it from Roman, all of that. And I think it could work. I think it's a good idea. But it's not finishing the story.
Sure, it's not. And I think Cody, even if he wins the title, wins the World Heavyweight title, would acknowledge that it's not finishing the story. And that's okay. So I'm not saying that Could it be a finish to the story? I guess the answer is no.
Yeah.
But could it be a spot in the story
Sixth inning? We're in the 6th inning now?
Yeah, we're in the 6th inning now. We're getting
not the
there,
3rd.
right?
We're in the 6th. So next year we'll be in the 9th.
Exactly. So, like, it could be a stop along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and let's just look down that road. If we're not unifying the titles, that means Cody has to drop the title at some point.
Right.
Well, who better to drop it to than Gunther, who we've been talking about,
Yeah.
building up, winning that World Heavyweight title, and then Cody goes after Roman.
But I think if Roman's not going to lose, Cody shouldn't lose either. I think whoever's going to beat Roman has to go in as strong as possible without having a loss.
Agreed.
And I think that just kind of puts you in a corner if you put the title on Cody. You're kind of backing yourself into the corner of he has to lose it at some point. If we're not going to unify the titles, he has to lose it at some point.
Sure.
Now you could, I've seen this float around and I will lose my mind, and not in a good way if this happens. If we do get to WrestleMania and it's Cody Seth and Priest cashes in at the end.
I know.
Listen, the man does not need any more adversity than he's already faced in the buildup. If we're getting to the point where we're going to start getting to Cena levels of adversity, and it's going to start to sour the fans on Cody. They got lucky, I think, that he's getting the reaction he's getting now. But going back to Seth, I don't think this match does a lot for Cody. I think it does a lot more for Seth.
That was the point that I was going to make, is that right now, as much as we all love Cody Rhodes, and as much as Cody Rhodes is probably the most popular wrestler, definitely number one merch behind LA Knight, as great as Cody is, Seth Rollins is the guy. He said it on Raw. He's the guy. He's your workhorse. He's the champion. He's main eventing every live event. He's yada, yada, yada. Okay? So with that being said, the company, while doing what's in the best interest of the company, if they're doing what's in the best interest of the wrestlers, they got to do what's in the best interest of Rollins too. And is this the best match for Rollins possible at WrestleMania? See, I would say yes.
I would say yes too.
Because we've seen Seth and Drew.
We have. We've seen Seth and Cody though too. Like, that's the thing, is we've seen Seth and Cody beat him 3 times. Clean as a whistle with a broken titty on one of them. So, like,
there you go, that's
like, that kind of nullifies that for me. I think, you could have. I think it's probably the biggest match for Seth, but I don't think it's the biggest match for the world title.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I think you could do, if you want to establish Seth the guy, injury and all. And I know we said this before, if Rollins does wrestle at WrestleMania, he should lose that title. Put him in a 4-way. Make him defend the title against Drew, against Sammy, against Jey Uso. Or you want to give a big guy a rub, Braun Breaker. Why not? Make it a fatal 4-way for the title and have Seth win. Like, have Seth go over, or have Sammy win. I'm fine with Sammy winning too. But have Seth go over. That makes him... Like, he took on 3 dudes with a busted back and a busted knee and won clean. So, like, that makes him feel like a big deal. You don't necessarily have to have the one-on-one match with Cody to do that.
I think you brought up a great point with Damian Priest, and I think he factors into all this too. I think if, let's say we put Cody into this Roman Rock situation somehow, some way, then that leaves us basically with Seth and Drew. The story being Drew wants this match because it was Punk's match and he wants to take everything away from Punk. Okay, great storytelling. I got it. Let's say Drew beats Seth. We just sit here and said if he's really hurt, maybe he should lose, maybe he should take some time off. Okay, cool, whatever. Let's say Drew wins. And then that opens up Priest to cash in that situation. Because I don't want it to happen to Cody, so it's going to have to happen to the other side.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Man, it's kind of sad that they've wasted money in the bank 2 years in a row.
Thank you.
It's been, you know who should have won it? LA Knight, but we'll talk about that a different day. Anyways, I'm 2 for 2 on those, by the way.
I know you are.
But I agree. Like, I don't think it should not happen to Cody. Like, it's like 1,000% it should not happen to Cody.
If he finishes the dang story at WrestleMania and Priest cashes in the next night,
I might punch a hole through my TV if that happens.
People will lose it.
Yeah, and not in like a good, not like a good way. It's at that point we're like, we've gone too far. Like, we have gone one too many.
And listen, you know that I've preached adversity the whole time. That's too far.
That's way too far.
That's awful.
I do think though, like, at this point, I think Priest should fail his cash in.
May as well.
But I do think if you want to make it viable and realistic that Damian cashed in, Seth, after a grueling Fatal 4-Way wins, then Damian can cash in.
Boom.
And that's like, okay, you get that. Like, I hate it.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of it. You get it.
Yep.
And then Drew takes the title from Damian, and then Punk takes the title from Drew. Like, that's kind of where you could easily head with this with Seth. So I think there's a great path for Seth at WrestleMania that does not include Cody.
Well, we just saw on Monday Night Raw, and we'll get to this. We could get to this in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up right now because we were talking about Seth's road. We're spending a lot of time here on Seth. We got a lot to talk about. But I think a path to Seth, we mentioned it. It could be Gunther.
Yeah.
Because we just saw on Monday Night Raw something that I called 2 weeks ago. Who just came out and confronted Gunther in his Intercontinental title celebration?
Oh, Jey Uso.
Uso.
Yep.
If they go to Australia at Elimination Chamber and Jey Uso wins that Intercontinental title, the path is wide open for Gunther and Seth Rollins.
I don't think you need to take the title off Gunther for the path to be open.
I think you need to.
But you might need,
You need to.
Because it wouldn't be the best if he just walked out the next night and was like, all right, dropping this, grabbing this. Like, I get it.
Absolutely.
It's all right. I do think we're, like, locked in, and I saw somebody else saying if they don't do this, then they're stupid for this, not doing this. Jimmy versus Jay in a brotherly love street fight because we're in Philly. So, like, please do that if you want to make it for the IC title.
Bingo.
Go for it. I think that would work really well because then you could tell the story depending on, I mean, no matter what the situation is with the main event, the Bloodline trying to win gold.
Yep.
You can even have Solo if you want go after the U.S. title. Although I would rather, I think we're like heading Logan Paul LA Knight WrestleMania.
Should be.
But I mean, there's a story to tell there for sure.
Yep.
I think Gunther is a big match at WrestleMania for Seth.
Yeah.
I think if Gunther's in it, though, Seth is going to get absolutely demolished.
As he should.
And Gunther walks out looking extremely dominant.